Welcome to Politics Done Right on KPFT. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is the progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. Give me a call at 713-526-5738. That is 713-526-KPFT. Remember, you can also send me a tweet to EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is politics done right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Willies, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We have a packed show today, plus we are in fund drive mode, folks. So we have a whole lot to do. I see in the studio we've got Nabu. Nabu, how you doing this morning or this afternoon?
I'm doing excellent, my brother.
Look, let me tell you something. We have a whole lot of money that we have to raise because we've been way behind, but we have a hell of a show. Guess who we have on board today?
You tell me, because I heard you got a special
I have
guest.
a special guest that is starting to make waves, that he's getting recognition nationally. Sri Preston Kulkarni. I mean,
wow.
This guy looks like he may actually turn that district. But you know what? Since we have to get started, I want to go ahead and get with the program right away because we have a whole lot to cover. So, folks, today's program is titled, and let me get the title right. Today's program is titled, Don't Let Trump Scare People into GOP Win Midterm 2018. And today's guest is Sri Preston Kulkarni. Let me tell you, folks, it's going to be a great show because he's going to have a lot to tell. Subtitle of the show, Americans Cannot Let Trump Lie and Scare Them into Voting Against Their Own Interests by Using a Vile Form of Racism and Xenophobia. Guest star Sri Preston Kulkarni. Folks, give us a call, 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. Look, we have several $1,000s we have to raise in 1 hour. So I need you to please give us a hand. Start calling right now. Are those phones ringing yet? 713-526-5738.
We got Dwayne out in Pledge Central, and we got.
Oh yeah.
Talk to me, Dwayne.
Hey, it's a great day here on Lovett Boulevard, other than the tree falling in the street. But we've got some great volunteers. We've got phones, and right now we're waiting for some action. That phone number 713-526-5738, 713-526-5738. And like you said, Egberto, this is the ultimate edition of Politics Done Right, because next Thursday when you come on, this marathon will be over.
Yes.
So this is it for this program, folks. And if you have derived some information and enlightenment from listening to KPFT, and particularly from listening to Politics Done Right with Egberto Willies, then I would ask you to call the pledge line. We have Peg and Ben and myself are out here ready to take your calls of support. Visa, Discover, American Express, and MasterCard are quick, easy, and painless ways to manifest your love for KPFT and Pacifica Radio and Politics Done Right. 713-526-5738. 713-526-KPFT.
Absolutely, folks. And like I said, since I was in Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago, I actually missed a day of fundraising. So we need you to give us a call right now, 713-526-5738. Please let KPFT, the managers here, realize there is some value in keeping politics done right. Before I get to Sri, I need to get a quick preamble. Donald Trump is at it again. He is trying to bring out the inner racist element that still resides in some. He has released Trump's version of the George Bush Willie Horton ad. I won't show it, play it, or talk about it, the ad specifically, because none of that will provide Americans with health care they need, the wage increases they're owed, or the myriad of other things the GOP has failed to provide while in complete control of the federal government in Washington, D.C., and most of the state governments in the country. They are in complete control of most of this country, and yet Americans are suffering. Texas provides a good example of a government that is legally murdering its citizens by denying them access to health care every Texan has already paid for. This is repeated red state after red state. Criminals, legal and moral must pay a price at the polls. And that can only be done if you vote. If you can early vote, as people can in Texas until tomorrow at 7 p.m., please do so. Go vote. But on November 6th, it is imperative that polls are overwhelmed with voters. Some would say that irrespective of one's party's affiliation or ideology, a progressive vote is necessitated this time. Many Republicans have already said that. We have many Republicans who have left the party and said, if you want to save this country, you must vote progressive. It will be one's personal human malpractice if you don't vote to save this state and country. Our special guest today is Sri Preston Kulkarni. I read some articles this morning about the Kulkarni race, which has attracted some national attention. One has to be impressed with Kulkarni and progressives. Progressive and moderate candidates that decided to challenge the reactionary form of government in place throughout the country. Kulkarni will tell us about the state of his race and about the big picture when he gets to Congress. KPFT is in full fund drive, folks. We need your continued support. If you have never been a donor, please call now. We need new people. We need new blood. We need everything. Anyhow, let's go to Mr. Kulkarni right now. Hello, how you doing, my friend?
Hi, Egberto. How are you doing?
I am doing just fine. I'm doing just fine. First of all, give me the state of your race.
The state of the race is very good. It's so good, in fact, that we've been getting more volunteers and more donors than we ever imagined, and they're coming from all over the place. So we have the donors who are coming in with small amounts because they want to help us with this race. We don't take any corporate money whatsoever. We're an End Citizens United campaign, and we have volunteers. We have people who are coming to knock on doors, make phone calls and text messages all weekend long to make sure we get out that vote, because it is going extremely well, but we still have to keep our foot on the gas until Tuesday night.
Well, Vox had a great piece about you. HuffPost had a great piece about you. And I can go article after article because there's something that you've done or that you've created in that district. I understand that there are a whole lot of folks who normally vote Republican that they have turned their allegiance to you. But beforehand, tell me a little bit about your opponent and what has he done for that district, and what district are you running for?
So my opponent is Pete Olson. He's been here for 5 terms, and he was asked recently what his greatest accomplishment was in 5 terms, and he said it was naming a post office, which is great, but I think we can expect more from our congressman. He hasn't been in touch with the issues of the district for a while, as it's been gotten younger, as it's gotten more diverse. We care about things like climate change. We were hit very hard by Harvey here, and he wouldn't even show up to a town hall with the Harvey victims. We care about gun violence. We had a mass shooting in Santa Fe just recently, and of course we see the epidemic of gun violence we have around the country. Republican parents don't want their kids having to do drills every single day to run from gun violence, and he wouldn't even go to the funeral of one of the girls who was killed in Santa Fe because he thinks that would that would send the wrong message, I guess. I don't know. There were town halls for our lives organized by students all across the district. I went to every single one of them and met with the students. He wouldn't come to a single one of them. On healthcare, he's completely out of touch. That's the #1 issue that people ask about. And people don't want their healthcare taken away. They don't want Obamacare taken away. People want more access to healthcare, not less access to healthcare. And people who have pre-existing conditions, like a woman I talked to the other day, who's been living with lung cancer for 10 years, says, please, please, if you don't do anything, just protect my healthcare and make sure that they don't take away my access to insurance, because if Obamacare gets eliminated, then I won't have access to healthcare, and that's just immoral and it's just wrong.
Absolutely. So, Sri, my question to you is, I've seen some of your ads out there. I haven't seen all of them. Are you hammering into the psyche of people that this is one election where, irrespective of party allegiance, irrespective of ideology, they really have a choice? For some, life or death. For others, money or not. For others, existence. Have you made that clear distinction? I know I've seen some of the work that you've done. Have you made that clear distinction in your ads, in the pamphlets that you're sending to people, etc., etc., etc.?
No, absolutely. And what I tell people is that what's on the ballot here is not Republican or Democrat, conservative or liberal. What's on the ballot is who we are as a nation and what we stand for. What I mean by that is that We have always been a country that's been welcoming, that's treated people equally, regardless of gender, race, or religion. And even if we haven't lived up to that perfectly, it's been an ideal that we aspire to. What's happening right now is that our government is openly saying that we don't believe in those values anymore, that we are going to discriminate against people based on their religion, based on their ethnicity, based on their gender. That has nothing to do with being Republican or Democrat. It's just a matter of right and wrong. So like the Charlottesville rally, where we had Nazis in the streets and a woman was killed and a woman from Houston was put into the hospital. When our president couldn't condemn that I could not go out and defend that overseas as a foreign service officer when I served in places like Jamaica or Iraq or Russia or Israel. When the Roy Moore campaign had a man who had literally he said that our families were stronger when we had slaves. He said that it should be illegal to be gay in the United States, that Muslims should not be able to hold office, and he had molested 14-year-old girls. At that point, you should be able to choose something over party, either country over party or values over party or just humanity over party. And we're losing that right now. The hyper-partisanship is tearing this country apart. And so that's what I tell everybody. If you're a Republican, great. We have lots of Republicans on our team. We have Republicans who are donors and volunteers, even ones who used to donate to my opponent in the past. That cannot stand with him when he makes those same kind of comments. Our opponent has called me an Indo-American carpetbagger who.
I saw that video.
Yes, this is the worst of our politics. It's the worst of our anything. In fact, that's what the Houston Chronicle, which had endorsed him multiple times before, said. He is the worst of our politics. We should be more inclusive, not less inclusive.
Didn't you get the endorsement?
Say again?
I thought you got the endorsement from the Chronicle.
We did get the endorsement from the Chronicle. It had endorsed him in the past before, but they said they could not endorse him anymore because these things like saying that the Clintons were murdering Vince Foster, saying that men should pay less for their health care than women because men can't get pregnant, saying that Donald Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize, or that 9/11 was committed by Pakistanis. It's just it's all divisiveness and has nothing to do with the issues that really matter about solving the problems in people's lives. And I think that's what people want. They don't want more of this divisiveness. They want to be able to come together. So that's why our campaign is different. We've been reaching out to people who usually don't vote. There's a huge group of people, especially immigrants who nobody ever communicates with. And they just write them off and they can be taken advantage of and scapegoated because either they can't vote because they're not citizens yet, or they are citizens, but they feel intimidated from voting. We were reaching out to them in 15 different languages. No other campaign in the country.
I was about to bring that up. I mean, that is, there's a particular article, I think it was the LA Times or the other ones, that actually spoke about your new way of campaigning, that you made sure that you were touching everybody within your community. You didn't go ahead and decide what they, what they were. You went to reach them, which is the way one should always campaign, reach the people you're trying to support.
Well, I mean, the problem is that people would say the easiest way to lose an election is to go out and campaign with people who don't vote. And my answer was, well, the easiest way to never change anything is to keep doing the same thing again and again and hope for different results.
Exactly. I mean, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. That is something that a lot of people don't understand. We have a whole lot of consultants that have been paid hundreds of millions of dollars over the last several years in state after state after state. And from the progressive point of view, from the Democratic point of view, all we have to show for those are losses. Why is it that they still have jobs? Why is it that they're not following the lead of many of our young candidates like yourself, like Miss Bell and others who are saying, finally, we are going to talk to the people. I tell you what, I want to get something else out of you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, your qualification, and contrast that with your opponent, Olson?
Sure. So I grew up here in the Houston area. I went to University of Texas at Austin. I did my graduate school at Harvard, the Kennedy School. I worked in the U.S. Senate doing foreign policy, defense, and veterans affairs, but then I spent most of my career overseas in the foreign service. And so I served in Jamaica, I served in Taiwan, I served in Israel, I served in Russia, and I served in Iraq. And I would have been serving right now, except that I didn't think that the government was actually representing me, and so I couldn't go abroad and in good conscience continue to defend these kind of actions. This is not the America of the ideals I believed in. So I resigned, actually. I resigned last December, came back home to run for office, and I started with one person. I had no money, no connections back this whole year. I've just been going off of my own personal savings with friends and family around me. I'm not a rich man, but starting from one person in January, we built up a team now of over 1,500 volunteers. We've outraised our opponent in the second quarter, third quarter, and even since, without taking any corporate money. That's the big thing. We are an End Citizens United campaign. We do not take corporate money, but still, people, individuals are willing to donate. They're willing to contribute because they actually care about this campaign. And this race was considered to be a safe race in the past. But the reason that they changed it from safe to likely, from
the Cook report changed it.
Say again?
The Cook report changed it.
Yes, they did change. They changed it multiple times. I've never seen a race change as fast. It's because we're bringing in all these new voters. The reason that I said that we should reach out to people in multiple languages is because I speak 6 languages myself.
Right.
I was a Foreign Service officer, and I looked around and I said, "Is anybody communicating with these people?" And they said, "Why would you bother? Everybody speaks English." It's not about whether you speak English or not. It's about, are you actually paying attention to these communities? Are you saying, "I care enough to actually know something about you. I have a connection. I see you." Just the same way if you walked into an African American church and you'd never known anything about African American culture or history, and you said, "Hey, come vote for me," who's going to listen to you?
Right.
But when you call somebody up in Gujarati or Marathi or Kannada or Telugu or Urdu or Arabic or Farsi or Igbo, we have a huge group of Nigerians.
I heard about that. Yeah. I was like, really? Hey, but
yeah,
Sri, I don't want to cut you off. We don't have much time in this segment. I want to ask you to do one thing, because you talk about reaching people who haven't voted, right? I need you to, because all these districts are gerrymandered, I want you to tell people the towns within your district that need to be looking out for you on the ballot, because you know how it goes. So what's your locations, and repeat your district again, and let people know exactly how can they support you, starting right now in the early elections and going forward November 6th at the main election.
So early voting only has 2 more days, so today and tomorrow. If anybody thinks they're going to vote on the weekend, you're not, because you can't vote this weekend. You can only vote today and tomorrow, and then if you miss it, then it's Election Day Tuesday, and that's it. And my district is easy to remember because I'm running for U.S. Congress, and my name is Sri Preston Kulkarni, which stands for Sugarland, Pearland, Katy, which are the 3 biggest towns in the district. And then some people said, "But I live in Richmond, Rosenberg. You don't have an R in your name." And I said, "Well, actually, my name is longer than that. It just didn't fit on the ballot. My name is Srinivas Rao Preston Kulkarni, and the Rao stands for Richmond, Rosenberg." and then somebody said, "Well, I live in Missouri City, or I live in Clear Lake." And I said, "Well, the Missouri City could be Mr., but the C you'll have to wait until after the election when I become Congressman Sri Preston Kulkarni."
Oh man, you have that down great, Sri. I love that. I love that. But anyhow, let me ask you one last question. When you get to Congress, which many believe you will be getting to Congress, tell me how you're going to change the flavor. Tell me how you're going to change the temperature. Tell me how you are going to change the atmosphere.
So first of all, I'm going to be willing to sit down with anybody, Republican, Democrat, Independent, who actually wants to solve problems rather than just attack each other. I don't think we're served very well by the negative polarization that's happening right now. So I actually did a thing after the 2016 election. I started with a Republican colleague called Breaking Bread, where we would just sit down once a week. We wouldn't debate. We wouldn't argue. We would ask each other questions. We'd share a meal together and try to put ourselves in the other person's position. I'm going to start breaking bread once a week in the Capitol with other colleagues, Republican and Democrat. The tenor needs to change, because what we're doing right now, we're not solving any problems. We're not discussing policy. All these policies, healthcare, immigration, gun violence. We have policies that could actually address the problem. But it's not about the policy. And I'll give you a perfect example. Obamacare, people tell me, "Oh, I hate Obamacare." And I say, "Well, what about the Affordable Care Act?" And they say, "Well, it's more affordable." What about protecting people with pre-existing conditions? They say, "Well, you have to have that." That tells you it's just about the politics. So I'd say, let's put the politics aside. Let's sit down at the table like adults and work out solutions to the problems that the American people face. That's the attitude that I'm going to bring to Congress.
Excellent. Sri, this is the second time that I've had you on Politics Done Right, and I can tell you one thing, you're so concise with the language the first time and the second time. Now, I want you to speak now, because your district has a certain degree of, it has a plus, I don't remember what number, R designation. In other words, a little bit more percentage Republican in your district. I want you now to address Republicans in your district directly. Why is it okay for them to bite your tongues? Why is it okay for them to say, "I am going to go against culture, I'm going to go against my most inner feeling"? Because we know that party affiliation is one of those things that with some people that is innate within their being. How do you tell that person it is okay to break that for you?
So to all the Republicans out there, I'll say this. I am proud to have Republicans on my team, Republicans volunteering for me and Republicans voting for me. This is not about whether you're in the Republican tribe or the Democratic tribe or which one of those tribes is going to win. It's about tribalism itself, which is ripping our society apart. If you agree that politics has gotten too nasty, too hostile, and too divisive, then I need you to stand up for an America that does treat everybody equally and where we act like adults. We sit down at the table. We don't have to agree on every single issue. I don't agree on every single issue with people in my own campaign. But we have to agree that we're part of a society together, and I have your best interest at heart, and you have my best interest at heart. That's not what's happening with our current representative. Our current representative won't even listen to anybody, Republican or Democrat. He doesn't have town halls. He doesn't come to town halls organized by constituents. If you want to hold my feet to the fire the way that I expect to hold our current representative's feet to the fire, you're going to have that opportunity every single month. I'm going to hold an open town hall, which anybody can come to, Republican, Democrat, or Independent, and ask me questions directly to my face. So that you know, if you cast your ballot for me, I will be accountable to you every single month and not to special interests. That's what you're going to get out of me that you're not getting right now.
And not to worry, Brother Kulkarni, right here, Politics Done Right, KPFT, and all these stations will be watching you as well. Because you know what? We have faith that the people that are out, that are going to be elected, that are going to be in there, are going to fulfill those promises, and new people that is. Look, thank you so kindly for having been here, Mr. Sri Preston Kulkarni. I wish you much luck, and thank you for giving us that interview.
No, thank you very much, Egberto. And can I just say to all the listeners out there, if anybody wants to help us, this is the last weekend. We have volunteers that are going to be knocking doors all over the city. So please go to our website at www.kulkarni4congress.com, KULKARNI for Congress.com. And you can donate there. You can sign up to volunteer. You'll have hundreds and hundreds of people right beside you, knocking on doors with you. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. So we would love to have you. If you speak another language, help us make phone calls in Chinese, Vietnamese, Hindi, Urdu, Arabic, Turkish, Farsi, Igbo, Yoruba, any language you want. Spanish, of course. So please, anything that you can do this weekend to either donate or to volunteer for the campaign, we would love to have you on board.
Thank you very much, and you have a wonderful day. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you, Egberto, and thanks to the listeners.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you guys for listening. Folks, telephone number 713-526-5738. We need those calls to come in. We're several $1,000s behind for Politics Done Right. We need you. Please give us a call, 713-526-5738. Let's go to Pledge Central.
Pledge Central update, Egberto. We have a big thank you going out to a gentleman in Kingwood named Bruce.
Thank you so kindly, Bruce.
And Bruce used the fantastic plastic method of expressing his love for Politics Done Right and KPFT. Visa, Discover, American Express, or MasterCard. Doesn't matter which one, but it matters that Bruce made the call that makes this all possible. And you are asked to do the same, dear friend. 713-526-5738. 713-526-KPFT.
I know that people wanted to listen to the interview that we had before, likely why we got a small number of calls. So what I'm saying now is we're going to be pitching for the next 5 minutes or so before we go into the blog of the week. So what I'm asking you is take this little brief hiatus that we're having without giving you some more content, but we have a lot more content to provide you. The blog of the week has an interesting topic. I won't tell you because I want you to stick around and listen, but please call 713-526-5738. You know, let me tell you something, Dwayne. This is an important election, but it is important because back in 2016, I have to put the blame on all of us. We didn't get the job done. And I tell you, a lot of times we didn't get the job done because institutions and programs and radio shows like these, like what we have at KPFT and other ones that have good progressive information to really encourage folks to vote, they weren't funded. We need to have people support us like the other side, like the few of the plutocracy on the other side supports them. So please call 713-526-5738. It is imperative that we hear from you. We're several $1,000s down. You can make a difference. Yeah, go ahead, Dwayne.
We are several $1,000s down, and this is the final edition of Politics Done Right. So please do what you can. Peg's about to get line 1 going, and Ben is ready to jump line 2. There's other volunteers ready to answer those other lines. We have 5 phone lines available. Every one of those is an opportunity for you to make a difference, friends. And this is maybe not specifically as important as the vote you may have already cast or will cast on this coming Tuesday, but this is a vote. This is a referendum on Pacifica Radio, on Egberto Willie's Politics Done Right program on KPFT, and whether you want independent voices to have a platform of expression, whether you want far-sighted big thinkers like Egberto to have a place that they can call home on this 100,000-watt radio beacon of truth and enlightenment that exists as a community resource here on the Upper Texas Gulf Coast for almost a half a century now. KPFT has been broadcasting truth to power, as well as bringing art and culture and all kinds of amazing things to this great metropolitan area, this great Upper Texas Gulf Coast, this Houston, Galveston metro region. 713-526-5738, 713-526-KPFT. Please make the call that makes it all possible, and make that call now, 713-526-KPFT, 526-5738. And if you're listening online, just hit the Donate Now button. Politics Done Right will come up as the default in the program that's on the air right now, and just do it safely and securely through that secure website link. 713-526-5738 brings you out to the old living room in this 103-year-old house that we converted into a radio station 4.5 decades ago. And we're out here in the living room. Egberto's out there where the old front porch used to be, and the folks upstairs in the old bedrooms are working away, and the office is upstairs. This 3,400 square foot little home is a 100,000-watt stereophonic FM beacon of truth. 713-526-KPFT. Please support that.
713-526-5738, 713-JAM KPFT.
Folks, we need to hear from you right now, folks. 713-526-5738. Let me tell you, it is so important for you to come out, for you to give us a call at 713-526-5738. We cannot do it without you. Join the family. We complain a whole lot when things don't go our way. We really do complain a lot. But you know what? We have to put some effort in it. We have to put some skin in the game. I tell folks a lot, right? I do this on a volunteer basis. Many of us are out here. You see Dwayne out there doing it on a volunteer basis. That's
Absolutely.
what we do. We do that because we know how important this is. So we ask you to call 713-526-5738. Make sure that after this election is over, you know that you did your part as well. We've been doing our part. 713-526-5738. I have in the studio with me right now, who?
It's Nancy Carrera.
Nancy has a message that she wants to give you about voting. So let's hear it, Nancy.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you and all the volunteers who care, because what I want to tell everyone is how important they are. I think people have forgotten how important they are. This is a representative democracy. It works. If you vote, right now, a very greedy, rich 1% of the population is turning out 83% and winning the vote. And the problem, every problem in the United States right now can be attributed to not voting. So we given our country away. All we have to do is get up and vote, and we can take it back. Democracy works. So come on out, and it's fun, and bring a friend with you. Early voting is through Friday, and in early voting it's cool because you can go to any location to vote. You don't have to go just at your area. So just Google whatever's close to you, go vote, grab a friend, then go out and celebrate afterwards because you're participating.
You would have done your job. Thank you so kindly for urging folks on to vote. Okay, thank you so kindly. Hey, folks, let me tell you, we want to thank Anonymous on the internet for giving us a $60 pledge, but we need a whole lot more, folks. Again, Politics Done Right is several $1,000 down. They expect a whole lot out of this show, and you know what? I've told them we have some of the best listeners in the country, not only in the state, not only in the city, not only in the Houston metro area, but in the country. But we need your support, and we don't have it right now. We want to hear those phones ringing. 713-526-5738. I'm going to hold out the pitch-in for another 3 minutes so that you can call in, and then I'm going to go to the blog of the week. I have an interesting blog of the week that is very important, but I need to get those pledges in. And, you know, I know if Nabu's going to look at me and say, before you go to that blog of the week, you better get some more damn phone calls in here.
Hey, now.
You know, right?
True that.
Yeah, so
I mean, really, the electricity is not free here at KPFT. You didn't have to put any money into your radio to get KPFT out of it whenever you got into your car or turned the radio on at home or however you came to find this amazing resource we call Pacifica Radio at 90.1 FM in Houston, or 89.5 in Galveston, or 91.9 up in Huntsville, or anywhere on the planet at kpft.org. Also broadcasting in HD Digital Channel 1 as well. And you didn't have to drop a dime in to find out what Egberto had going on this week. But I warrant that if you had to, you would. But the reality is that there are bills, just like any homeowner. KPFT has this old house. We also have 3 transmitters that we have to power up. We also have rent at these locations where our towers are located. We have bills. We have overhead. We've got a gas bill. We've got an electric bill. We've got the water bill, just like you do. And we've got a couple of people who work way, way, way more than the few dollars an hour they get paid to actually be here to keep the gears running all the time. I mean, like half the pay for working twice the hours. And that very, very skeletal staff is augmented by about 200 of us who come in here, like Egberto and I and all the others that you hear on these programs, doing something because they love, they care, and they get to take advantage of this shared resource that we call public radio, community radio, Pacifica Radio. So please do what you can to support it. This is a very rare, special opportunity you have to speak up and say yes. That yes, you want this resource, you want this voice to be heard, you want this platform to be maintained. So do what you can. Visa, Discover, American Express, or MasterCard, cash, check, money order, electronic funds transfer, credit, debit, you name it. Heck, we had a lady on the Open Journal program I do on Monday evenings on the first Monday of this membership campaign 3 weeks ago. She actually gave us a gold coin that was worth over $1,200. So, you know, whatever you have, KPFT could do something with it that allows us to have the freedom to bring great programming to you. So support it if you could. Hey, another thank you going out to, wow, all the way up to Massachusetts.
Wow, thank you,
Miss
Massachusetts.
Kathleen is listening online, so thank you
Kathleen,
so much.
thank you, Kathleen, from Massachusetts. Folks, let's not let Massachusetts hold down Houston now. Give us a call, 713-526-5738. 713-526-5738. Please give us a call. I have to hold out another 2 minutes till those phones ring before I can go to the blog of the week.
Hey, Miss Kathleen lives in Scituate, Massachusetts, by the way.
Oh, wow.
She said she knows you. She may have crossed paths with you at
Coffee Party USA.
There you go.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you so kindly, Kathleen. Folks, we need more calls. 713-526. I feel like I've been pitching for the last several weeks, morning and night.
But this all comes to a conclusion. You know, the end of tomorrow is when this membership campaign, this fund drive, this marathon is over. And KPFT has a long ways to go to power that tower of freedom. And whatever you can put into the tank is really going to help. So know that it's important, whether it's $5 once, $5 a week, $5 a month, $5 a day. Only you know how important KPFT is to you, and only you know how much you can willingly share back with KPFT. We're not asking you to take out a second mortgage. We're not asking you to, you know, sell your worldly belongings and give it to KPFT. We're just asking you to do your fair share. And if everyone listening just did that little bit, it's kind of like voting. If we all voted, I think we'd have a better world, at least a better country. 713-526-5738, 526-KPFT. Please make that call.
Folks,
and make it now.
I need to hear that phone ring before I can go to the blog of the week. So please, phones. Any phones not ringing yet?
No, we're on hold right now.
Okay, folks, we're on hold right now. Why don't you give us a call so that we can hear those phones ring? We really need to hear from you. Thank you so kindly for that phone call. Let's get another. Let's get another call in. I need another call. Is that a second phone yet?
There you go.
Is that a second phone?
That's a second ring on.
Okay, I need a third one. Let's get a full Monty. Come on, let's get a third phone ringing. Come on, folks, you can do it. Is that a third phone?
There you go. That's the second one.
Okay, we need a third one. Come on, folks, you can do it. You know you want to give to Politics Done Right and KPFT. You know why? Because we are doing our job. We are making sure to get the message out. I mean, when Dwayne comes in here, Dwayne can be home, watch on the couch, chilling. But
I
Dwayne
could be
is
writing
here.
my memoir.
He could be writing his memoir. Dwayne is a previous managing director here at managing station. What do you call it? Station manager.
General
here,
manager.
General manager at KPFT previously.
2002 to 2017.
And he's in here still.
Aye.
That is what it does to us. You get here, you can't leave the family. We need you in the family. I'll be reading the blog of the week at 15:38. 15:38 in 2 minutes 6 seconds. Folks, please go ahead and give us a call. You have time to call before the blog of the week. 713-526-5738. I need you to call to make sure that Politics Done Right does its fair share in funding KPFT. Remember, this money doesn't go to Egberto Willies. This money doesn't go to Nabu. This money doesn't go to Dwayne. This money doesn't go to Don. This money doesn't go to our great volunteers out there. It goes to the station to take care of paying bills. So please give us a call at 713-526-5738.
Oh,
All right. Any other phones ringing yet? Come on, let's get that third phone ringing. Is it ringing yet?
Peg is working a deal with a gentleman on line 1, and Ben had an information call. And so we have opportunities abounding at 713-526-5738, 713-526-KPFT.
Hey, look, we have a great T-shirt called "We Are the Mob." We are the mob. We are mocking what the Republicans are doing as far as saying that the people in the streets who are looking for their rights. So call in and say, I want that T-shirt. We are the mob.
Deplorable mob?
Yes, we are the mob. Go ahead and get that T-shirt. I think Nabu, do you remember what we said we're going to do that T-shirt for?
$100.
$100 donation. And folks, remember, you don't have to do that all at once. You can do it in monthly payments.
There you go.
Please, we are the mob. It's a great blue T-shirt, and you would love wearing that T-shirt. So, folks, give us a call now.
Drop in an extra $60, and we'll get you a pair of KPFT socks.
There you go. So you got the shirt and the socks.
We can get you a hoodie. We can get you a cap. We can get you a coffee mug. I mean, we can deck you out.
Yeah, and by the way, I didn't say this yet. My book, As I See It, Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom. I don't remember how much that one is for, but I tell you, how much is that for?
It's your book.
I don't know.
It's your book, man.
I don't know what we are offering it for.
75.
Okay, $75 for As I See It, Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom. And let me tell you what that means, okay? You learn everything you need to learn about the economy and how it intersects with politics and how we get screwed, including things like how the patent laws really screw us over. I mean, that farmer in Iowa who planted his own seed, it got interconnected with the genetics of Monsanto's genetics, and somehow he gets sued, and now he can't use his own seeds. Folks, we teach you the inner workings of this country in a manner everybody can understand. As I See It, Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom. Nabu said we're offering that for $75. Remember, you don't have to give that all at once, but go ahead. Call 713-526-5738. We have any more calls in?
Hey, Ben is working a deal for a KPFT hoodie over on line 2 right now.
All right.
You can get a hoodie for a simple $12.50 a month for a year, or a one-time gift of $150. I say do the one-time gift. Come and get the hoodie right now, because it's going to be chilly this week.
Hey, tell you about it. But folks, we need more calls. Any more phones ringing?
That's it right now, Egberto.
713-5. I'm going to go to the blog of the week, and then we're going to come back and doing some
blog on, brother.
Yeah. So, folks, do you know what time it is? And you know what happens when you say that? Guess what happens when you say that? This. It's going to happen like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And my operator says, Egberto, you know what? You didn't tell me to do that. And I'm going to say, hey, no problem. You know what? I'm going to do it like this. Chop, 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 chop. This is the blog of the week. The title of the blog of the week is as follows. Donald Trump thinks white people are stupid and gullible. Is he right? You guys listen to my show all the time. No, he's not. No, he's not. So let's talk about that, my brothers and my sisters. Many believe that the George H.W. Bush racist Willie Horton ad was successful. It played on the fears of white people. Donald Trump's racist xenophobic video is worse. He literally tells white people that brown people are coming to invade them with criminality. I've included the video, giving it more views, and I want to give it more views. You know why? I want to give it views, not because I fear it, but because we must inoculate white people who have an irrational fear of those others. We want to make sure they can be inoculated from a sect of the white plutocracy who cares nothing about them other than their vote. Folks, my brothers and my sisters, and specifically my white brothers and my sisters, it has never been about race. There's nothing called race. Nothing. Race is a figment of one's imagination. Race is colorization. It's a figment of your imagination. We use it to divide and conquer. And what Trump is doing right now is exactly that. He wants to separate you from a group and tell you, hey, be fearful of those other people in as much as you and those people have more in common than you do with Donald Trump. All they want is your vote. They don't want to do anything for you. They want your vote. And when they steal everything that they can from you, they then tell you it is the fault of those others. Don't fall for it again. And I am faithful. I am trustful. I believe that this election cycle, folks are going to say, you know what? I see the light. I see how they've been using our irrational fear. I see how they've been using the angst to really vote against our own interests. Of course, the reality is after winning, they summarily screw them and everyone else. We are one team, brothers and sisters. We are one team against a small but vile group of people destroying this nation. Don't you ever forget it. We are one team. We stick together, we win. Anyone who buys into Donald Trump's new ad would believe anything and will continue to get used. They will easily be convinced to vote against your interests. This is the president's personal October surprise. If Americans are smart, it will do his party in and allow those who have left the party, urging Republicans to vote for Democrats this cycle, the opportunity to rebuild the party into a real and necessary conservative party. What I'm saying, folks, I believe we always have to have pushback for having a successful democracy. It is important. I am a left-wing liberal. I love my conservative brother to tell me, hey, don't you think if you don't do that XYZ, you need that interaction. That's how one gets intelligent. That is how one gets smarter. When you have all these different avenues, what they're doing right now, the fascist behavior, all these types of behaviors are preventing that. So that is President's personal October surprise, so that in his opinion, he gets a chance to continue to pilfer. If Americans are smart, they won't fall for it. They will not fall for it. I am trusting many are lying to the pollsters. I am trusting that when people go to the polls, they'll say, we've had it. But folks, instead of spending a whole lot of time on the ad, let's now talk about what is important to all Americans, including all white people. And again, I'm saying white people, but what I should say, including all American humans. Because again, remember, race is a social construct. And guess what it has little to do with? It has little to do with immigration. Immigration has very, very little. Immigration has very little to do with terrorism. Immigration has very little to do with welfare or anything. All the terrorism that we've seen this year, where did it come from? Internal, had nothing to do with immigration. Remember that, folks. Do not fall for the irrational fear. All the terrorism in this country this year didn't come from afar. It came from within. We, the American people, terrorized our own. Let's remember that, folks. Before I tell you what we need to be talking about, I'm urging you right now to call 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. We so badly need you to make sure we can keep these programs going to enlighten folks so that they can't fall for the lies, so that they can't fall for the misinformation, so that they can't be, so that that irrational fear in the back of everyone's minds cannot be played with, because what Trump does. He knows that little tickle everybody has. He knows the little tickle that can create that fear. He knows how to promote that. But we need to inoculate that. But let's talk about what we need to do. Progressives must continue to tell poor and middle class Americans in a district-specific manner what is for them. It must be clear to them that what they expect out of voting for progressives or Democrats. And the person that I had on, Sri Preston Kulkarni, is the emblematic person that shows that. Irrespective of party, I am there for you. Democrats, well, here are the 5 things I tell people we should all talk about. We will fix the healthcare issue once and for all with a single payer Medicare for all system. The people in power should provide a student loan relief for everybody. They should provide a need-based subsidized child care for anyone who wants to work. They must decriminalize marijuana and treat drug use as the disease that it is. And the criminal justice system must live up to its motto, justice is blind. You run on those 5 issues. It covers everybody. Those 5 bullet points expressed in different terms will work in every district in America. It appeals to millennials, people of color, all working class people, parents, and every demographic in between. Most importantly, these bullet points afford Americans a path to self-sufficiency. It frees them from aberrations in the economy that stunts innovation, the inability to start one's business, and the dependency and enslavement to the corporation. Notice what I said. It starts giving us the ability to be ourselves. One would hope that every Democrat or every progressive who gets on Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, ABC, CBS, MNBC, HLN, or any other network would steer every topic to these bullet points. If we remember this, no lying, racist, xenophobic ad from the president will work. To my white brothers and sisters, do not once again get hoodwinked. Vote your interest. It does not align with either the lies or thuggery of our president. It aligns with us all. It aligns with your friends. It aligns with the people who are talking. It aligns with folks who just want to survive. 713-526-5738. We need those phones to be ringing. 713-526-5738. Is anybody on the phone?
Yes. I actually have someone to thank, and Peg is working another donation right now. So we do want to send a big shout out to Gina.
Thank you, Gina.
She called it in from out in Katy. She put it on the Fantastic Plastic, and she will be sporting a KPFT hoodie in the near future. So
all right.
Thank you so very much, Gina. And hey, Egberto, while we're waiting for Peg to pass me this next form so I can thank another person, I wanted to ask you just if you could quickly give me your insight into Nancy Pelosi and her little comment she made, I believe it was on the Colbert program, about Democrats, we're going to win the House. I guarantee it. Is that smugness? Is that complacency? Is that arrogance? Is that stupidity? Is that a fusion of several things? What's your take on it?
That is a person completely out of touch with reality. I am so sorry to say that, because Nancy Pelosi is likely the most apt politician in this country. Nancy Pelosi was the person who got Obamacare passed. She was the one who was able to cobble people together and use her prowess to get that thing passed. She dragged senators, she dragged Congress people. That woman is a politician who knows how to work in
Arm
Washington.
twister, yeah.
That
Negotiator,
said,
collaborator.
Exactly. That said, that is the most ridiculous thing she did on TV, because it's going on a loop around the country in every conservative district, which means every conservative is going to be running to the vote. And even conservatives that may have considered voting progressive will now say, well, that means Nancy Pelosi? No. I think, here's what I think her calculation is. And this is, and this is bad what I'm going to say, but I hunch it has something to do with it. She wants the majority, but she doesn't necessarily want a big majority, because a big majority means that there's going to be a whole lot more Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes coming in. And if a whole lot of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez come in, actually it's going to create havoc on the left side this time. So her thing is, I want to win, but I don't want to win the districts where those crazy lefties are coming in. I tell you something else. Pelosi and Schumer, I have no trust in them as Democrats for one specific reason, and I say this with care, and that is, if we take a look at how they responded to Dr. Ford. After they were done with Dr. Ford, instead of staying by her side as the president continued to attack her, everybody forgot about Dr. Ford. She was used by the party. And when Donald Trump came out the very day when they approved of the new Supreme Court justice, and he said he was found innocent, there was not one of these two leaders, Pelosi or what his name, come out and say, no, he was not. Nobody came out on the side in front. No Democrat came out on the side of the mic to say, let's give gravitas to a message that opposes the president. Sir, my dear brother Dwayne, what they're doing is saying we want to win, but we want to win on a neoliberal scale. Meaning winning on a neoliberal scale mean we still want to win, but we don't want to have to deal with too many Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in Congress.
Wow. Well, that's sad, but I do appreciate that analysis. That's really good. Thank you for that, Egberto. I was just sort of flummoxed because I thought, does this woman not have any sense of how she can be used and what a lightning rod she is
of course she
for
does.
The opposition?
Of course she does, and that's her intent. That was her intent. So, folks, 713-526-5738. We need more calls. Anybody on the phone right now?
Not right now, sir.
Folks, we need more calls.
We're in the final 10 minutes for the entire marathon for this program.
And I am so far behind on raising funds. Like I said,
still
folks,
well over $1,000 short.
Yes, folks, look, let me tell you, man, we went to D.C. Politics Done Right was in D.C., so we missed one full day of pitching, trying to get funds. We are so behind. We needed to give us a call, 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. Let me hear the phones ring. I gave you the blog of the week. Now we need to hear the phones of the day or the phones on the hours.
I thought George Soros funded this program.
Oh, I sure wish he did. If he did, I wouldn't have to come back to all these folks right now. Come on, folks. I don't hear those phones. Are any phones ringing yet?
On the serious side, I really would like 713-526-KPFT, 526-5738. Somebody needs to call in and do $1 a day pledge. That's $30.42 a month for the next year. $30.42 a month. That's something that I know at least one of you could do that in a heartbeat, easily, no sweat.
It is.
Somebody could do $500.
Yes.
A $500 pledge. We need those kind of big ballers to the fives, the tens, anything that we can get. We need it all. We need every single nickel. But you know what? We need some of you who have been really blessed and can afford to be generous for all of us who can't and wish we could. 713-526-5738. 713-526-KPFT. If you need a sweetener, if you need some sort of material feedback loop in terms of gear, some merchandise, some tickets, or swag of any type, we've got all kinds of stuff. I don't want to waste and belabor that point, but I do want to say that we have tons of things that a lot of vendors, a lot of venues, a lot of folks have given some wonderful things for us to share with you. But rather than have KPFT spend a lot of time talking about that, I just want to talk about the value proposition that is the freedom that Egberto has every Thursday afternoon. He gets to come in here and speak his truth, share his wisdom, share his insights, share his blog of the week, give you some real information so that you become more knowledgeable, broaden your horizons, open windows into worlds maybe you were not quite familiar with, break down those walls of separation that divide us and build bridges of connection. That's what this program is about. That's what this radio station is about. And that's what you as a listener are obviously about. I'm inferring that about you, just not even knowing who you are. But those of you who understand that, please know that that feedback loop is incomplete if we can't pay the bills, if we don't have the funds necessary to keep the lights on, if we have to spend more time doing this kind of motivational speaking to get you to contribute rather than sharing the vital information that Egberto brings to you each and every week. So please do what you can. Do it now. Make that call, 713-526-5738.
We need another call now, folks. 713-526-5738. I have a book, my book, As I See It, Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom. You want to learn everything of how this system works, and not only that, what you can do. Get that book. I think Nabu said we're offering it for $75. Please go ahead and call 713-526-5738. Then we have that shirt, that T-shirt that says, "We are the mob. $100 donation, 713-526-5738. Folks, it is so imperative that you support us right now. I don't hear the phones ringing. How many phones are taken right now? Only one phone or one phone? Folks, we have
one
four
going
more
and
lines.
3 available.
We have 3 phones available right now. Give us a call on 713-526-5738. It only takes you 90 seconds to go ahead and fulfill. Actually, they said 90.1 seconds to fill an order. 90.1 seconds to fill an order.
Right.
We only have 4 minutes left. 713-526. Please let me close out big. Like I said, we so badly need you to call because you know how necessary these types of programming. You heard the interaction I just had with Dwayne as far as analyzing why would Nancy Pelosi go on Colbert and say, "Oh, we have this stuff one guaranteed."
I guarantee it.
You know,
It's
it
like,
makes
come on.
and we know she's a very intelligent person. Now, that's the analysis that we provide you. There must be something behind it. That's what we do here at KPFT. We give you both information. We give you logical analysis. 713-526-5738. As I said, this program is far behind because we were out of town. So we ask that you give us a call. Now I don't hear the phones ringing. So give us a call, 713-526-5738. We still have a couple more minutes, 713-526-5738. Dwayne?
Hey, a big thank you for a copy of your book.
Thank you.
It's now on reserve for a renewing member. That's Anthony from right here in Houston.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you so much, Anthony. We greatly appreciate your support. Peg is on the line. I believe Elaine is making a contribution to the cause of conscious communication as well. 713-526-5738.
Thank you for that call. We need about 5 more of those calls, 713-526-5738. I know you can do it. Let's close out big. Let's close out by putting all those volunteers to work. Let's close out by putting those volunteers to work, folks. I tell you what, a lot of you don't realize how important your contribution is. We can't wait for the other person to do it. And you know what? Think about this, my dear brothers and sisters. We do this because we know it's important. We do this altruistically. And the reason we do it is because we want a better state. We want a better city. We want a better country. Help us do it. Because you know what? At the end of the day, when people aren't informed appropriately, at the end of the day, when things are not right, what do we say? We could have. What could we have done? What could we have done if we wanted to make it differently? So, folks, please go ahead and go. Oh, I get some overtone on. Oh, what's happening? What's happening? We still have a minute here. Hey,
you do have a minute.
Yes, folks.
You know what? Naboo had to take a phone call in this last 60 seconds.
Okay, 713-526-5738, folks. Give us a call. I tell you what.
We got 4 calls ringing right now.
We need one more.
Got to get that next bingo line going.
Let's get that. Let's complete the bingo. I got 30 seconds before I'm kicked out of here. Come on, she's going to kick me out of here. She's ready to start her show. 713-526-5738. If you call, we got a bingo. If you call right now, 713. Do we have a bingo yet?
No.
Come on, bingo. Come on, bingo. One more call. We need that bingo. You can do it. I know you want to. I got 15 seconds. I've got 15 seconds. Come on, give me that bingo, and I'll be sure to write you down on the internet for those of you that are gifting right now. 713-526.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Egberto.
Dwayne, thank you so kindly for coming in and help. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right, and I am out. Thank you very much for listening to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. You can personally reach me by sending an email to egberto@politicsdoneright.com. Remember, Egberto is spelled EGBERTO. Change starts with you. 90.1 KPFT gives you information not tainted by corporate interest. Please visit kpft.org and contribute. Let's ensure continued access to real information and news remain available to all. Again, thank you very much for listening to Politics Done Right.